We got Benny's truck. We borrowed it with 1A1 Logistic. Hot Shot Benny on YouTube. Daniel's test driving the Lamborghini Green Fontaine Workhorse. We got it hooked up with air. So this is a Fontaine Workhorse. It's a 55 LCC. That means it's 55 ton rated. It's got your hydraulic spool valve with your pressure gauge. It's got flip ramps in the front. Swing out outriggers going down the side, just kind of standard stuff. But these little button lights we added, they are 7 additional button lights down each side. The cam pawls, there's 2 cam pawls in the front. That gets you up to 7 adjustable ride height settings for the front. They ride down into that casting rack right there. And that'll allow you to pull your load. This is a Lamborghini Green. It's got pearl in the paint. It's like a glitter or a pearl. It's got your 2 lockable toolboxes, extra D-rings going down the inside, tons of D-rings going down the outside. Hammer plate in the middle here where you can rest your bucket. It's got additional D-rings there and little chain boxes there. On your suspension, it's got really heavy duty ride well suspension with chain up on that first axle. So what you do is you dump all your air and you can shut off this shut-off valve right here. That'll cut off the supply of air to those front airbags, and then you can lift that front axle off the ground like that. These chains also work as shock limiters too, so that way it doesn't overextend your shocks. It does have aluminum outside rims. Here's your little air gauge down in the bolster. This is your rear ride height override valve, also known as a whittle valve, more properly called a whittle valve. What that does is it will move the position of your leveling valve to raise or lower the rear suspension. It has battery powered strobes in the back. That way, if your neck is detached from the trailer, it'll still have strobes for when you're loading on the side of the road or in the dark. In the back, we have the push-pull valves, lift, and dump. The dump will dump the air. The lift will actuate these 2 little airbags underneath that shock right there. It's got a little bit of paint left over on it down in there and down in there. It has 2 bags right there that will allow the third axle to lift off the ground, which is actually lifted right now. The new ride well suspension actually gets it pretty high off the ground. So shout out to Fontaine Specialized. They hooked us up with this cool paint. Shout out to Benny for letting us borrow your truck.